stop terrorists here. You made it. Hell of a time for a lockdown.
More like convenient, given everything that's happened in this investigation so far.
What does that mean?
They knew I was coming. Marchenko and the gold mask from Dubai. Somebody tipped them off.
Are you accusing me?
I'm not accusing anyone, yet. But 2 ambushes in less than a month? I want to know what's really going on.
So do I. McCready dug into Garm. Started out as a geological research center, funded by the European Union, until 2025, when it was purchased by a nameless shell company.
You put Chang on it?
That kid scares me. Tracked it back to Bell Tower Associates in under an hour.
I take it no one purchased it when Bell Tower went bankrupt last year.
Wasn't even listed on the asset sheet. So like I said, you stumbled into something big. Care to focus on figuring out what it is? Right after you contacted me, I got on the horn with Lyon. Had them send in a strike team from France. It got there about an hour after you two slipped out.
And the mercs were gone.
Did a pretty good job of trashing the place before bugging out, and left a few booby traps behind. So we have no idea where they went or what they're planning next.
Not necessarily. I heard Marchenko talking to his men. He said something about finalizing a deal with Diwali.
We need to move on this now. I'll get a search warrant for that old Diwali-owned theater on Tsar Divi Adlam Street.
You really think we have time for a search warrant?
No, but with the city under lockdown, I can't guarantee you'll make it over to the Red Light District alive.
I got here, didn't I? Nobody's killed me yet.
All right, fine. I won't stop you. Just be careful out there, Jensen. Let me know what you find.
Copy that. It's Adam Jensen.
Mr. Jensen, to what do I owe the pleasure of this call?
You owe me a favor. I'm collecting.
Of course. You have been a very valuable associate, and I will be happy to reciprocate. But not over the infolink.
Where? The casino?
The casino is closed tonight because of this ridiculous curfew. You will find me in the Diwali Theater on Zadivadlem Street. My men will be told to expect you.
Can you hear me? You have to come quick. He's here.
Who's here? Who is this?
It's Daria. From the crime scene. Do you remember? I'm at home. Pardon to cross from yours. Please, hurry. I need you one thing.
Are you still there? Daria.
Taking test next month?
Heading back to patrol.
I see anyone, especially an AUG, not taking any chances.
My Interpol friend, it's dangerous for you to be out in the street tonight. What are you doing here?
I was about to ask you the same thing.
Oh, the killer is still out there. More victims have turned up. All of them AUGs, all harvested. Just like Angela's gun.
So it's the same person doing all this, and we still have no idea who that is.
I'm not sure where all this is going, but I've been looking at old case notes, and it's uncanny. Marek Svobotka, the old harvester, is supposed to be dead, yet this killer seems to... little habits that were never made public. I even called the cemetery just to make sure Svobodka's still dead.
And?
He's dead.
That doesn't explain what you're doing here.
It's still my case, isn't it? And it's still open. I was hoping that maybe Daria suddenly remembered something. What about you? You know very well that your Interpol ID doesn't mean shit tonight. Hell, I should be arresting you right now.
Daria called me. She said she was in trouble. She said he was here. When she got cut off. Is she in there?
I wouldn't know. I knocked and no one answered. I've been worried about her. So she called you.
You know how she feels about cops.
Right. Look, you're not supposed to be outside tonight. I'll take a look around the building. You see if you can find a way inside. Hopefully we're not too late. Just try not to get caught, eh?
I won't.
Anomaly detected. Trace program initiated. Access granted. Anomaly detected. Trace program initiated. Anomaly detected. Trace program initiated.
Anomaly detected. Trace program initiated. Anomaly detected. Trace program initiated. Access granted.
The center. Structure. Oncology. Quality. Excellence. Center.
Anomaly detected. Trace program initiated. Access granted.
It is you again.
Welcome to the Underground. I owe you an apology for hacking your info link.
Don't sweat it. I'm assuming you had a good reason.
Samizdat's usual channels are all bugged. I couldn't risk an audio communication being traced back here.
You're little K, right? You don't sound local.
I wrote some things that made me have to delocalize a long time ago. Been living story to story on a Schengen visa and a language implant ever since. Never expect a short story from a long-form journalist. You want to know why I brought you here? The police raided Samizdat last night. Cleared us out. We were broadcasting until they pulled the plug. Radios, flyers, mail bursts, the makeshift media van. Getting the message out to our subscribers if they needed a refuge. As you can see, it went a little wider than we anticipated.
This isn't what I call laying low. Aren't you afraid the police will find you again, finish what they started?
They already got the cake. Bones, the backup servers, even the shitty coffee machine. Enough for them to call it a win and get back to indiscriminate brutality on the streets.
Where were you when this happened?
Right here, running our little home away from home. Our sources tipped us off about the martial law. Either we could write about it and throw our hands up. Boy, I sure hope this massive rights violation doesn't end up being too awful this time. Or we could enact a readiness plan and really do something.
And when we first met, I called you pamphleteers. I guess I should apologize.
Oh no, we were pamphleteers. Now we're pamphleteers, jury rigging an underground railroad.
So are you running a resistance cell here or a campaign room?
Why not both? Now Samizdat has a captive voter base we could run for the Senate.
It's organized resistance then.
Peaceful resistance. We're working together to get people under the cordon and out of Prague. It's a happy accident of a police state. Well, I say happy when everyone's repressed, they can see past their prejudices.
Or they shift the blame. It's gonna take a long time for those prejudices to heal.
As long as certain people can profit from keeping the wounds fresh. But you knew that already.
What happened to Kay?
Kay is me now, according to the Samizdat manifesto. It's all very third-wave socialist with a dash of martyr complex.
Good to know. But I mean, what physically happened to him?
Right. His name is Yarek Drobny. He's being held by the police along with Bones. No contact, no bail, no rights, plausible deniability.
He must have known the risks.
Well, he was open to the existence of risks. When you showed up, it should have been a wake-up call, but you were reasonable. The state isn't reasonable.
I'm pretty sure you didn't call me to put up posters. What's the deal?
We've made a plan. We're getting people out of the city, starting first thing tomorrow. I want Yarek and Bones to go with them, but first, we need to bust them out of jail. Tonight.
And you think I'm the kind of guy who breaks into police stations?
Are you telling me you're not?
Fine, I'll get them out. They're being held in the temporary police station downtown?
Yes. By the Monument Metro. Once you're clear, take them across the plaza to the Uneda Cleaners. We've cached everything they need for a long road trip along the old NATO decommissioning zone.
That's your escape route? Puts getting them past the state police into perspective.
It works on paper. And gives them these new identity documents, a lot of new identities. We found a very good forger. We're keeping her from a bright future in a Pika's newsroom.
It is you, again.
Too many people.
Edward Braun. Thought we activated your permit.
You did. Whatever you did was enough to fool them.
Doesn't seem to have done you much good.
It kept me out of Golem. I wouldn't have made it this far if it wasn't for you. But now, martial law changes everything. It's Warsaw 1982 out there.
Warsaw didn't have drones.
I remember them going into people's homes, accusing them of things they did not do, being part of organizations I have never heard of. It was clear to me that it was all happening again.
So you slipped away, went underground. How'd you know to come here?
I heard a message on the radio. They were saying that martial law was being used as an excuse to round up anyone. And then I look outside and I see this with my own eyes. The police acting indiscriminately, just like 82. So I decide to do exactly what I did then. I hide in the sewers. And I start to find others. People who are scared and looking for safety, just like me.
I'm sorry it came to this, Edward. I know how much it meant to you to stay in Prague.
It's not about me anymore. I am one of the lucky ones. All these people down here, we must stay together. We must help each other to get through this. They are my family now.
Good luck, Edward. Elena, you didn't take my advice about giving up on forgery.
I know. But trouble is, I've got a talent for it. And it's a real growth market. As soon as you got me out of that thing with Dragomir, I had like 20 emails from Samizdat. Do you have any idea how difficult it is for art school graduates to find a specialist subject these days?
The permits aren't enough for police anymore, forged or real.
In Prague, maybe. But it turns out I'm multilingual when it comes to falsifying border passes. Lucky, right?
If it works, I'd say lucky.
Thanks for the vote of confidence, Super Commando Man. Oh, don't mention it, Milena. If there was an easier option, you think we wouldn't take it? I was less stressed out when I was working at gunpoint.
We may not agree on your methods, but I'll let you get back to your work.
Coming from you, that is like the gold star seal of approval.
Just wait it out in here.
Biocell, painkillers, right over there.
You want praxis, eh? Biocell, hypostim, painkillers.
I might be interested.
They sell these things.
Yeah, I got that.
Buy something. Что за хуйня? Что за хуйня?
I'll be on my way.
Fuck off then. Next time, maybe not fuck off.
Should have brought an umbrella. Any orc makes it here, they'll be sorry.
You don't think that what we're doing here is right? You said it.
On a personal level, yes, this bothers me very much. Jesus, I'm not even talking about what our social responsibilities.
You know, if you said a shit like this was happening.
Father, we're just following orders.
Určitě proti zákonu. Well, we're doing it right.
Rounded up.
You get off on this kind of thing. Slowly. Say this.
That's where they belong.
Should have done it long ago.
Wait there.
We have no business together. What are you doing here? It's after curfew. It's dangerous.
Serial killers are dangerous. Curfews are just inconvenient.
I beg your pardon?
Daria Mishka, ring a bell.
I'm sorry, but I'm not at liberty to divulge anyone's personal information.
I'm asking for your help. Daria's missing. She's gotten herself mixed up in these harvester killings.
I'm sorry to hear that, but I don't see what that has to do with me. Or with you, for that matter.
Before going after her, I want to make sure I have all the information I need. I read the email you sent her. You seemed very concerned. Something about a neurosurgery you performed. Why was it so important for her to meet you here?
I used to know Daria. She was a patient of mine.
Your patient? You mean here at the drugstore?
No, of course not. Before that, when I used to work for Taeyong Medical, big tech corporation. You know it?
Enough to know I don't like where this is going.
I headed a project, the cutting edge of neural science and cellular memory replacement. We dealt with people suffering from severe social disorders. We were making people better by making them better people.
A company like Tai Young running experiments to make better people. What could possibly go wrong?
I'll tell you what went wrong. The incident happened. Your kind lost sympathy with the world, and my kind lost funding for their projects. The whole thing was shut down, and it became very difficult to adequately follow up with patients.
Patients like Daria. What happened? What the hell did you do to her?
We were trying to help people. Imagine what it would mean if we succeeded. Anxiety, gone. Apathy, gone. Depression, gone.
Diversity gone, spontaneity gone, individuality gone. But you probably left that part out of your sales pitch.
Daria is responsible for what Daria does. The only reason Tai Young forced me to get involved is because so much is at stake for them. Big brand name to protect. I've met their lawyers, men whose briefcases are filled with broken teeth. You must understand.
I'm trying to save Daria. If any part of you cares about what happens to her, now is the time to tell me. What do I need to know to help her?
Daria is beyond help. You're wasting your time.
That's for me to decide. Now tell me about this procedure. And you can quit stalling, because I'm not going anywhere until I get the answers I need.
My job was to address people's deficiencies by integrating donor personality packages. That meant we needed lots of confident volunteers to donate time to our project. As you can imagine, people weren't exactly lining up to have a scrape inside their heads. So Tai Young had to diversify.
Once again, not sure I like where this is going.
Tai Young Medical cut a deal with various penitentiaries. Prisoners who took part in our programs, they got granted little perks, bigger cells, running water. The prisons, they benefited from facility upgrades. It was a win-win.
You implanted the personality traits of prisoners into the mentally unstable? Smart. Let me take a wild guess. Daria's donor was Marek Svobotka, better known as the Harvester.
Donor number 698843. All I saw, all I was given, was a series of test scores that showed a perfect match. Everything she was missing, he had. Nothing else mattered at the time.
An innocent woman's been turned into a vicious killer, in large part because of a procedure you carried out. I'd say that matters.
Daria wasn't turned into anything. She willingly participated in a procedure. Now she is willingly killing people. You may choose to see a causal relationship between those two things, but let me assure you, it's more complicated.
Save it for the lawyers. What I need to know is how to stop her.
All right. Look. We obviously want the same thing here. Daria has a neural chip installed just above the hairline. She won't let you get anywhere near it. So if you're serious about putting an end to this, you'll have to,
What, kill her?
That would be my preference, yes. Or I suppose you could just incapacitate her, but then you run the risk of having her wake up. Not a risk I would take personally.
There must be another way. Something that doesn't involve attacking her.
I wish I could help you. Unless you're willing to meet violence with violence, Daria's not a victim. Chip or no chip, she is behind this, and she will try to attack you no matter what you do.
I don't think Daria's as responsible as you make her out to be. Taking her out and removing the chip is great for you. Gets rid of any evidence that might link her actions to your bungled experiment. But there's no way it's my only option. And there's no way Tai Young Medical would develop a sensitive technology like this without some kind of failsafe. I know you're holding something back.
Like what?
A weakness, an override. Something that allows me to talk to her without the influence of whatever it is you installed.
Well, there is an override phrase. Daria's been programmed to react to it with specific subconscious impulses that are designed to trigger a shutdown of the chip.
Why wouldn't you tell me that in the first place?
Because I knew you would overestimate what it could do. You're a fool if you think you can just walk up to a killer and say a magic word. It won't undo what she's become. The decision to act on Svobodka's memories, to repeat them, that was all Daria. Simply shutting down the chip at this point will not be sufficient.
That's for me to decide. What's the override phrase?
Ad hominem 2026. But I warn you, do not turn your back on her. And do not underestimate her responsibility in all of this. We all have terrible nightmares. We all have visions of sick and terrible things we could do. But we don't all act on them. You must be careful around her. It is dangerous to be out in the street tonight.
Getting overtime and hazard pay for this, right?
Everything is fine over here. Cops.